Behind every great action cartoons are great weapons. From show to show, there are countless killing devices we've dreamed of having as kids, and we have a list of some of the best of them. However, there's a catch with this list. Swords have been disqualified. We wanted to highlight some of the other weapons out there. Also, this list doesn't include animes because you could separate that out into an entire other video. My name is Tim, and today on Channel Frederator, we're counting down the top 10 cartoon weapons. Let's get started. Number 10, the Ranger's Bow from Dungeons & Dragons. The Dungeons & Dragons cartoon never got the attention or love of its 80s counterparts, which may or may not have to do with accusations that Dungeons & Dragons turned children into Satan worshippers. In this cartoon, each of the kids was given a different weapon of power, and they were so cool that the evil Venture would stop at nothing to possess them. And I mean stop at nothing. He seriously concocts a scheme to supply a Nazi pilot with an advanced fighter jet to help Hitler win World War II and erase the kids from history. Any weapons worth that much trouble must be pretty special, and the most special weapon of those was Hank's Ranger Bow. It doesn't need a quiver because it automatically shoots child-friendly arrows of light, which are basically just lasers. You can fire away and never run out of arrows. In the hands of anyone that wasn't a stupid kid like Hank, this could be a real powerhouse. Also, it serves as a handy light in a pinch. Utility functions make the best weapons better, and as obscure as this is, it's up there with some of the best. Number 9, the Splanker from codename Kids Next Door. The Kids Next Door regularly fight against the tyranny of adults using state-of-the-art kid technology. That said, one of their best weapons was the very reliable Splanker, or solid pine-loaded artillery nicely kicks enemy rear. The Splanker uses a magnet to swing a wooden board and deliver a powerful slap. In a world of improvised kid weaponry, this was basically standard issue for every agent. And this isn't just a weapon, it's a symbol of the kid's spirit and ingenuity, a sign that kids everywhere have some fight left to give in the ever-growing struggle against adults. And maybe, just maybe, they can even win. Number 8, the Laser Light Cannon from Steven Universe. If every pork chop were perfect, we wouldn't have hot dogs. The Laser Light Cannon does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a cannon that shoots laser light to devastating effect. So why in a show with a number of cool weapons did we choose the Laser Light Cannon? Because while all of the weapons in the show are cool, this one also gives us one of our first looks into Rose Quartz and who she was. See, the cannons are activated not only by her gem through Steven, but also by a very special password. The Laser Light Cannon is a symbol of her love. It's a weapon of mass destruction powered by love. When they say love hurts, they really aren't kidding in this show. Number 7, the Sapphire Dragon from Shaolin Showdown. Shaolin Showdown had a variety of cool weapons and items in its runs, but perhaps the most terrifying and powerful was the Sapphire Dragon. Once unleashed, it becomes a killing machine that turns everyone it comes across into living sapphire statues that do its bidding. It's the nuclear option of the Shaolin Showdown world, when you would rather end all life on Earth than let your enemy get the upper hand. On 2 different occasions, the good guys only barely manage to contain its power, but it's always there. Its lovely blue destructive fury waiting to be called upon so that it might one day turn the entire world to sapphire. Number 6, the Anvil from Looney Tunes. One of the most ubiquitous weapons on this list by far, the Anvil has such a presence in cartoons that I think most kids, didn't even realize it was a legitimate tool used for blacksmithing. Sure, lots of things got dropped on heads in the world of Looney Tunes, like the grand piano or the safe, but none ever reached the popularity of the Anvil. Heck, the Animaniacs sang a whole song about anvils while attempting to use them to kill a non-copyright infringing parody of Barney named Baloney. They're not the most practical weaponry. They can weigh hundreds of pounds and you'd have to hoist and aim them at an unsuspecting stationary victim. Given their track record, they're far more likely to hurt the person trying to use them, but when you think cartoon implements of death, you think Anvil. Number 5, the Technodrome. You might be thinking that a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle weapon shouldn't count because it started as a comic and not a cartoon, but the Technodrome was made for the cartoon first and not the comic. Can you believe that the giant tank was made to sell toys? Anyway, the Technodrome is basically an unstoppable juggernaut. Its weapons were more than sufficient to subjugate all of New York and beyond. The Turtles don't defeat it, they only manage to imprison it underground. It's a constant menace. The villains don't need to beat the Turtles, they just have to find a way to power their ultimate machine again. If only it was in the hands of less funny, more competent villains, things might have gone differently. Fortunately for everyone, it's piloted by Krang, who, as much as I love, is not the best villain. Number 4, Daria's wit from the show Daria. I know what you're thinking, somebody's wit can't be a weapon, but whoever first said that whole sticks and stones line is an idiot. Words are some of the most painful and powerful things a human can wield, and Daria wields them with brutal efficiency. When Daria catches flack from family, schoolmates, or teachers, she can turn their own words back on them with all the skill of a judo master. In the sick, sad world that is American high school, Daria Zarya might not be appreciated or liked, but she is respected and even feared, all thanks to a razor-sharp wit. Number 3, Star's Wand from Star vs. the Forces of Evil. Star busted onto the scene pretty recently, and oh man did she bring a cool weapon with her. Star's Wand adapts to its user and grants an untold amount of power. What starts off as shooting rainbows and flowers quickly escalates into full-on lasers and bazooka modes. Also, and this is possibly a spoiler warning, but she shoots the arm of a bad guy clean off. Not only that, but in a later shot, you can see butterflies resting in his wound. She can blow limbs off and have butterflies pick at the wound. Oh my god, how did that get through sensors? We've only seen a fraction of what this wand can do, and in coming seasons, I'll bet that this becomes one of the most powerful weapons in cartoon history. Number 2, the Dog Talisman from Jackie Chan. We're not including anime on this list, but even if we were, we wouldn't include the Dragon Balls. Wanna know why? The Dog Talisman, that's why. Everyone always used the Dragon Balls to wish for immortality, but you had to travel around the planet, assemble every Dragon Ball, and make it through the wishing process. The Dog Talisman gives the same immortality with no strings attached. You just have to hold on to it and boom, immortal. And it's not just immortality, it's youth as well. Jackie Chan's uncle uses the talisman and is suddenly spry and much more powerful than Jackie himself. Also, he takes a shot through a brick wall and shrugs it off like it's nothing. With this talisman, you don't have to defeat your opponents, you can just outlive them, making this easily one of the most powerful weapons. And the number 1 weapon is the Heart Ring from Captain Planet. Matee can influence the hearts and minds of people and animals, and the only reason he doesn't use animals as his own personal army against his foes is personal restraint. Make no mistake, Matee runs this joint. Heck, Mother Gaia explicitly calls his power the greatest of them all. The one ring to rule them all. There's actually a Captain Planet comic, and it includes an issue where Matee leads animals in a vicious charge against bad guys. I'd like to see one of the other Planeteers try commanding a whole army. Thank you for watching Tooned Up's Top 10 Cartoon Weapons. If you enjoyed this video, you might also enjoy our Top 10 Cartoon Fights, or the top 10 lessons the Magic School Bus got wrong. Let us know in the comments if there's any tools of destruction that we missed in our list. And remember, Frederator loves you.